Hey everyone, I am MSK, aka Master Swag King, coming at you guys today with another video. And if you guys are returning viewers or new viewers, then please consider subscribing to the channel if you have not already. Leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it and comment down below. Also, make sure you guys hit the notification bell. That way you guys can get notified on whenever I upload a brand new video. And in today's video, we are going to be doing a comic book review on Ultimate Wolverine number 1. So, Ultimate Wolverine was announced last year in 2024 at New York Comic Con, actually. And basically, this version of Wolverine is described as the Winter Soldier for this Marvel Comics new Ultimate Universe. And it was described that this was going to be the most brutal Wolverine we had ever seen. And me and Professor Savage Dad did a video talking about Ultimate Wolverine when it was announced, actually. So if you guys basically kind of just want to read Ultimate Wolverine when the first trade drops, which I would imagine will cover the first like 5 issues, you can go and check that video out. It's already on the channel, actually, where we just talk about our thoughts and opinions about what Ultimate Wolverine, could be. And I did say in that video, because I wasn't thoroughly convinced, that, I've seen Berserker characters before, the Winter Soldier aspect, I've seen it before, oh, by issue 1, I said, and then if it convinces me, then I'll keep it on my pull list, and then we'll just keep, reading it and reviewing it. But I did promise you guys I was going to read the first issue and review it, because outside of the artwork, because we saw the interior pages, we saw them look great, honestly. The artist knocked out of the park. Fantastic job. Completely A+ work there on the art. Now, I will also say this. Marvel Comics' new Ultimate Universe has definitely been, a better offering than their mainline continuity. I would highly recommend you guys go and check out, our Ultimate Invasion trade paperback review. We did a review on the Ultimate Universe number 1 one-shot comic. That is the sequel to that, which is the finale of that. This is essentially Ultimate Invasion Part 5, but, Marvel Comics just can't fucking resist trying to sell a new number 1 whenever they can. It's just a thing they have to do because they just love new number 1s, right? So then after that, I ended up reading, Ultimate Spider-Man, Married with Children, Volume 1, written by Jonathan Hickman, with art by Marco Cicchetto, actually. That was very, very good. That trade paperback I have over there for Ultimate Spider-Man, Married with Children, Volume 1, best comic book I read the entire year. I'm pretty sure there's nothing beating that anytime soon. But there's some other contenders there, but I'm pretty sure that's my favorite one of the year so far. So we have to read Ultimate Black Panther, trade paperback Volume 1, and Ultimate X-Men. But this obviously needs to get talked about because this was, man, goodness. So I didn't really have too high expectations coming in for Ultimate Wolverine. Be honest with you, you guys saw the video. I wasn't really hyped for it. The design looked great. The art looked good. But I was like, I don't know, man. They've been giving Wolverine a lot of stuff. I mean, guys, you think Batman and Superman and X-Men get a lot of stuff. Guys, Wolverine gets everything. Wolverine had his 50th anniversary last year. Do you know how much stuff he got? I'll just tell you right now. So you got Deadpool Wolverine, WW3. That was trash. Absolute giga dog shit. Reviews up on the channel. I almost blew my brains out reading that shit. Then he got a 4-issue miniseries, which was written by Chris Claremont. Wolverine Deep Cut. I did a review on issue number 1. I'll probably end up finishing that series in trade when it drops because, it's now time for the trade to come out. So I'll just, do a review of it with you guys when it comes out in trade. But I did read issue 1. Wolverine, issue number 1, Deep Cut was amazing. God, Chris Claremont just really knocked out of the park on that one. There's Wolverine Revenge, which was also done by Jonathan Hickman. I like, contrary to popular belief, I actually liked issue 1. I actually enjoyed it, but I didn't get a chance to, finish out that series because, I reviewed like issue 1s of certain titles and then never got back to issue 2. So I was like, you know what? I'll just go in the trade. But Wolverine, a lot of stuff. Then on top of that, he got a new ongoing series with Saladin Ahmed, actually, which is currently on issue number 6. He's been getting a lot of stuff, guys. And then he got another thing on top of that. He got Deadpool and Wolverine, a new ongoing series written by Ben Percy. How many things did I just list there for that guy? Six things he got in 1 year? Actually, that's not counting Wolverine versus Predator that happened as well. Remember that, guys? Wolverine versus
I
Predator.
like that one too.
That episode was very good. I'll have to review that in the trade paperback format with you guys, because that we'll have that reviewed eventually. I can't wait to read that. I was getting the ongoing issues, but then I stopped for some reason because, you know, I'm just that kind of person. I'm weird like that. But Wolverine been getting so much stuff recently. And to be fair, there's only so much you can do with the guy. And I love Wolverine. He's one of my favorite Marvel heroes of all time. But the stories that I read for Wolverine were pretty much like, they're just really maxing out this healing factor thing. And guys, there's more to Wolverine than just a healing factor. You know that, right? But every book that I read, it was just healing factor this, healing factor that. And I'm like, oh, fucking hell. Could we just like get away from that for a while, you know? But in this, it felt like it was a little different. And it was awesome to see that it was different. Like, they pretty much took Wolverine and made an aspect of him that is cool, but made it in a different way. So essentially, this Wolverine is different because he doesn't have the memories that you guys think of, but they're just all gone. They're completely just not there. And he doesn't talk. And keep in mind, Wolverine's not the guy that prefers talking. He prefers just being a loner most of the time. You bother him, he will talk, but he's just like, leave me alone, you fucking piece of shit. You don't get that in the book. He doesn't speak at all. He doesn't speak at all. He's a, some people say a mindless soldier, but I don't know, given how things have been set up. I'll be honest here. This has been, I don't know how you feel, man. This is one I would think, to me, I would have this up there as one of my favorite floppies I've read throughout the years so far. One of the favorites, because I liked the Cold War aspect of it. I liked the espionage angle they took with it. The brutality was great. I felt like not having him talk added more layer and mystery there. And that final page where he took off his mask and he was looking at, I guess you could say that it was a fourth wall break kind of thing. He was looking up. Oh my God. So good. One single aspect, I would say, the villain angle of it, like the conspiracy theory, while I thought it was good, I thought it was great, needed a little bit more meat on the bones. It felt like they were just kind of saying stuff sometimes without it really ever being like actually explained. Like, the action carries the book. Wolverine does a great job. They kind of rely on you knowing the characters in advance, because if you didn't know who the characters were in advance, then it wouldn't really kind of work. But that's my only issue. I feel like some of the locations I didn't really care about, and that's pretty much it. But I'll ask you, how did you feel about Ultimate Wolverine issue #1?
The only thing I didn't like about it was waxing two famous X-Men, like in the issue, like two big time characters meet their end. And I'm just like, okay, well, these two aren't going to be in the Ultimate Universe anymore. So I guess there goes that.
I guess they're establishing with that no one's safe in this book. And, you know, to some degree, I enjoy that, you know, but to be fair with what you're saying, at least in this universe, hopefully they're not going to do that thing where they're all going to just come back at one point. Please don't do that. Oh, God. Cringe. Imagine if, like, Nightcrawler just came back in, like, issue 10 because reasons, you know?
Let's worry. I am back, huh? Yeah. Yeah, no, it was good. I've read a lot of the Ultimate ones so far, and this is one of the better ones. They're kind of hit and miss. I didn't get into the X-Men one very well. The Ultimate ones was kind of pretty wild. And but this one is solid, a good solid story. It's up there with Spider-Man on how, you know, if you were ranking the Ultimate books, and I would say it's up there with that. You're right though, it left a lot of like what the hell moments, and then
it had a lot of shock factor, which is fine.
You didn't have many answers. You didn't have many answers, so it's like I'm interested in issue 2 to see, okay, now where's this story going, because I'm the same way, because it was really like you got to see this really quick moment, and then it was like, oh, well, what the fuck, man? He just well, what's going on here? I need to know more now.
Yeah, because when it came to like the whole conspiracy angle around it, from what I've read, it mostly felt like, because what Nightcrawler told him, we try to come back for you. So apparently, maybe, here's what I'm thinking, some of them were captured. They did experiments on that Logan, and you saw it in the flashback. Because it was crazy. I'll give him credit though. In this book, they did do flashbacks, and I think more people need to utilize flashbacks in some of these books to flesh out the story. They used the flashback angle to a point where, hey, that guy was talk about a brutal backstory. Talk about a fucking insanely brutal backstory for that version of Logan, for what they were doing to him. You know, the only angle of that would be, is like, okay, is this villain trying to basically utilize Ultimate Wolverine to go and kill off the people that kind of left and managed to escape, or or are they going to use him for different reasons? Like, there's a lot of greatness here. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of really good stuff here. But some of the more espionage, more of the more grander story points have to come play in the few of the issues coming out later on, because then it's going to look, I guess it would be very confusing to me personally, because I got and understood what they were doing, but some of the locations were like, man, these names are just fucking stupid, and it kind of felt like, outside of the villain just being very just ominous, which is, I guess, fine for an issue 1, you were like, okay, this is just okay. We understand this Wolverine's brutal. He had a lot of bad things done to him. These characters tried to go get him. They failed at it. And then now he's just under the influence of this other group that want to use him as the Winter Soldier. That's how I thought of it.
Which appears to be like KGB Russians, which was where the original Winter Soldier was he was taken in by the Russians and given the arms. So essentially this is Wolverine instead of in Weapon X. He's in Weapon R for Weapon Russia. And then you've got Colossus and Magic in it. And they're working for the lab. And I don't think Colossus is a scientist as much, but he's definitely working with them. And then you had that mysterious general. It'd be interesting to see what else is going on. I haven't read Ultimate X-Men, so I don't know if this is going to connect at all. Like, is Magneto in Ultimate X-Men, or are we going to see him in this book? Because I can see them sending him out to assassinate another escaped mutant, and it be, Eric Ledger, or maybe even Xavier. Maybe in this, is Xavier in Ultimate X-Men?
Talking to, I knew the person that Colossus and Magic were talking to was Omega Red.
Okay, so that was Omega Red. All right, gotcha.
Yeah, I knew that was Omega Red. He's been in so many.
Oh yeah, that's right. I see right there. Yeah. Okay.
Oh,
so yeah, it'll be interesting to see what
villains, because I know he's. What's so weird is he is technically the villain of the book. You kind of look at it, you just kind of think of it. He is the Winter Soldier. He's the villain. But what those villains did to him, oh my God! Jesus Christ, that backstory is brutal. Oh my God, but it's so sad that Marvel can make such decent books in their alternate universe instead of their main timeline. Why?
Yeah.
Why?
No canon. That's why.
Oh, I always forget these names sometimes. It's Alania Prostovich. When I say it like that, it sounds out better. But when I'm reading, I'm like, who the fuck's that? Good Lord. They should do those little indicators on like, this is what this character is and all that stuff. But they didn't do that for her. And I was like, fuck it, I guess. But Marvel, when this book dropped, guys, went all out on the variant covers. Oh my God. Variant covers those are beautiful. They were amazing, honestly. But like, I will say this, I wasn't fully sold on the title when it was first announced, but this book convinced me to, keep it on my pull list. I'm here to see where this kind of espionage, Winter Soldier, Wolverine story is going,
Yeah. I am interested to see where it goes.
It never exceeded my expectations or fell below them, but it was good. Solid start, in my opinion, honestly.
Yeah, it's a must pick up, I think, and definitely worth looking at number 2, which I have because it came out. So,
all right, so let's start going through this book. So, Ultimate Wolverine number 1 definitely was very brutal. I'll say that. So, what was awesome for this book when I first opened it? You saw that. Oh man, that's just. I love that fucking cover, man. This cover is amazing right there. Can't wait to have this on a trade paperback. You won't because you're getting this, but doesn't matter, right? They do give you the little synopsis on, what happened in Ultimate Invasion here. If you ever want to know basically what happens in Ultimate Invasion for like a Cliff Notes, most of the, the new Marvel comics or their new Ultimate Universe will have that there. To be honest, I'll be honest here, that's better than reading the fucking book itself, but nevertheless, I won't keep shitting on it. I know if you like it, it's fine. Jonathan Hickman, please stop doing that setup bullshit. Starts off basically like a lot of these espionage, thriller action stories where you have this helicopter, guys are talking, and the guys are talking basically like saying he's an experiment gone wrong and all that stuff. And then Ultimate Wolverine essentially gets up. He has to have conscience that's not being, controlled by the place that's controlling him. He has to, because I don't know if they're controlling him right there, but I'm just thinking that's what's going on, right? So he gets up and they're like, oh, we don't want to die. He just looks at them, looks at the ground because the helicopter drops that. What's that thing under a helicopter where they drop the hatch? Is it called dropping the hatch, I think?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the helicopter drops the hatch. He gets ready to jump out of it. Marvel stupidly tries to after 8 Deaths of Spider-Man. Fuck off, Marvel. I don't want to read that shit. You don't either, because you're rebooting it anyway, bastards. Also, Wolverine jumps out of the helicopter onto the ground to murder a few people. Then they end up in another place, actually, after that. He ends up dropping there, and then he ends up just plowing through these guys in the open gate. This was kind of a problem with the book that I have to highlight. It's like, okay, he got dropped here. He killed some people really quickly. Then he just got picked up again and just dropped off at another place that quick. I was like, okay, I guess it was supposed to show you that this guy's just brutal as fuck and it's just a mindless killing machine. All right. So after that, we started to kind of get a little bit more there. So the next place he ends up at, you see Nightcrawler and Mystique here, right? They're getting ready for battle. The guards there end up getting brutally killed. Then you get a flashback. And I think the book does balance out the flashbacks to the present very good, actually, which is awesome because if this didn't balance it out very well, this would have turned out to be a fucking disaster. So they kept him in this container right there. You have Omega Red, you have Altona, you have Colossus there, and then you also have Magic. And basically, long story short, they basically experimented on this version of Logan in the most inhumane ways possible. Everything bad you can think of, they did. And considering you guys know how Wolverine's healing factor is, you know what they did to him. Think of every bad thing imaginable. They did it. Literally terrible people. I would be so glad he ripped all these guys' motherfucking heads off completely. Good Lord, these guys treated him like absolute shit. Kept him in the container, everything. Just, oh my God. One of the most brutal comic book origins I've ever fucking read in my entire life. So then, as he plowed through those guards at the first part of where he was dropped off at, and the second place he needed to go to, he starts plowing through more of them. Mystique is like, oh, okay, we have to get the fuck out of here. Nightcrawler knows he's too strong and leaves, and he starts praying. Yeah, he starts praying. Yep. Wolverine just plows through all of them in the second location after he killed the people in the first location. Man manages to get close to Mystique. Colossus hits him with one of those like giant machine guns, and then his neck cracks. He does this neck crack usually in the book, and Colossus is like, oh shit. Oh god damn it, son of a bitch. And then he begins fighting Colossus. Colossus starts shooting at him, as you guys can see right there. Then after that, Wolverine kills Colossus. Yep, Colossus is dead. Slashes him through the neck. Kills him. Good. He fucking treated him good. Yo, murder that motherfucker. All these guys need to be getting stabbed through the throat, honestly. And we're being generous there with what they did to this guy, honestly. He gets stabbed through the throat as he deserves. And he kills Mystique too. Now, to be fair, what's crazy here is they don't actually show you Mystique getting her neck slashed.
Well, that's because she was Colossus.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
So when he slashes Colossus's neck, you can see that it's actually Mystique that he kills, and she turns back. He thought if she became Colossus, she could like scare him off. But that's crazy. Yeah. I didn't catch that. I'm glad you did, because that's why we have two people here. That way my brain doesn't fry. So yeah, Mystique is dead. She's gone, actually, and you can tell he just doesn't care. No remorse there in him. I mean, to be fair, he shouldn't have any remorse. People treated him like absolute garbage. So you get more of the backstory there. Basically, they just, oh God, experiments. They basically just turned him into the Winter Soldier after essentially there was this, apparently what we know is that there was a mission that they were on and they managed to capture him. They want to basically make a Winter Soldier that has a survivalist instinct. That's their big thing, you know? Yeah.
Memories completely wiped. It won't even know its own name. It'll just have survival instinct. That's it. Its past self is dead. Logan, it was once called, but no more. We have taken to calling it by a nickname seemed fitting. Lived, died, and born again, we choose. It will be cold-blooded, relentless, merciless, and we call it our Winter Soldier. Yep. Pretty much think of everything what happened to Bucky happened to this guy. Maybe worse, honestly. Maybe completely worse. I hope Wolverine kills all these guys later on. Holy fucking dumb shit. So he's going after Nightcrawler. Nightcrawler, definitely isn't going to win this. Gets to a point where, Wolverine stabs Nightcrawler through the stomach, completely kills him. But before he dies, he gives a piece of the backstory where he says, he basically tells Wolverine, hey, I know you're in there. So we can tell he has maybe some conscience left, where he says, I pray you have the strength. I'm sorry we weren't quick enough to come back for you. So what I can infer from that, like I said earlier, was that maybe they were on a mission. Logan got captured, and then they wanted to go get him, and they weren't quick enough to, and they just couldn't find him ever again. That's what it feels like, honestly. So essentially, the people that worked on him were Colossus, Altona, Magic, and another guy that we don't know of yet. So then Nightcrawler ends up dying. And then after that, we get these other things right there. So this is the next part right here, right? This is the part where it gets a little confusing. So he was worked on, and then we have this next part after he goes back into that airplane that dropped him off, where essentially you have this other group basically knowing that he killed off Nightcrawler and Mystique, right? So who are these? Are these the guys that spearheaded the mission?
Yeah, so after he was wiped, this is him getting programmed on who to kill. And I don't know who this big guy is, but he's some kind of general. And he's essentially saying, these escaped from our East Berlin camp, and it shows Mystique and Nightcrawler. And then he tells them that you're going to go out there and get him. So essentially he's getting his mission. This is the part where like Winter Soldier would be told those passwords and be told who he needs to kill. This is where he was getting the mission to kill Nightcrawler. And then it goes back to him on the plane, after the mission, and he's kind of sniffing the blood on his helmet.
Yeah, just crazy brutal backstory. After this guy had been completely maimed, tortured, basically mind memory completely wiped, no name. He gets programmed by these other two guys. The main villain being right there, to basically program him to go after.
It's a weird spot for that flashback. It should have been.
I guess it's supposed to add to why he did it at the end after he killed them. Yeah, I get it. It's just like, okay, this flashback should have been. If this had been literally a page or two before, it works even better. I feel like while this is fine, it's a little too. Because I guess it was supposed to show that there's some more humanity to him, but it doesn't show that because there's no humanity left in this guy, because it shows you he's being programmed to murder these guys. So I would prefer that this page is just before rather than being where it's at right now. But it's not bad, I'll say. So then after that, toward the end of it, the main villain right there who was programming him to finish off his programming says, "You, my friend, you aren't a part of history. No, you are history." So after that, the book basically ends off with him taking off his helmet and looking at himself. And then it ends off with probably the most coldest way a book could end. Nightcrawler praying, and then Wolverine looking at the screen. Amazing. That was a great way to end the book, honestly.
Yeah, I like it. I want to know why he's wearing the mask, because even in the flashback when he's in the tank, he's wearing the mask.
Is he? So, was he? I don't think he was. I don't remember.
He's got the mask on in the tank.
Oh, you're right. Yep, you're right. Yep.
He had the mask on when it looked like they were getting ready to make his bones metal. I wonder if he still has adamantium too.
I would imagine he does. It looks like he was adamantium. Yeah. So I'm sorry, I mistake there. I genuinely thought he'd kill Colossus. I'm glad you caught that. I'll be honest here. Sometimes when you read books, you don't catch everything.
Yeah, I thought the same thing too when I first read it. I was like, you're gonna kill off Colossus in the first issue, but
it does show if they're gonna kill Mystique and Nightcrawler that no one's safe, actually. But yeah, and then right here, one of the generals had said, "Difference is we know how to win. Look at these two, escaped 2 years ago from the East Berlin camp." So there must have been some crazy shit happening that they're going to be hopefully explaining in the later ongoing issues. But no, what really got me at this is this, man, can Marvel do some good stuff if they really put their effort in? This final page, knowing what has happened to him, he takes off his helmet, looks at his fingers, and sniffing it, because you can tell Wolverine has, obviously, the sense of smell is amazing. And then you get that final page of Nightcrawler praying when he killed him, and he looks at oh my god, it's chills right there. Oh my god, that was damn, that was good. That was awesome.
Yeah.
The only issue I would say with the book, like I mentioned earlier, is when you have these guys that finish off the experiment on him, programming him, that should have just been at the beginning or earlier in. That's my only real problem. And you don't really get to know a lot about the people that are programming him to do this way. Hopefully that gets explained in later issues on it. But overall, it's a great, good, solid, entertaining book. You know, I wouldn't call it like one of the best I've ever read the entire year, specifically as far as other ones. But no, this would be a solid, be in the top 10, be a solid like 7th, 8th, 6th,
7
range.
out of 10, 8 out of 10. I mean,
yeah, if you did the top 10 like floppies you were reading this year, this would be like, I think, top 10 worthy. Honestly, it's very good.
It's very good. And I'm in for the second. I want to know what's going to happen. I mean, when they mentioned East Berlin camp, I instantly thought Magneto.
That's what I thought too. Yeah.
I don't know if he's in Ultimate X-Men, but I'm like instantly thought, it's like, are we going to see the Ultimate Magneto here soon? Are we going to see some other people? Sabretooth, where's Sabretooth at? So that'd be interesting. You know, is Sabretooth going to be Wolverine's Captain America? Where
I can't believe I was almost tricked there by them killing Colossus. I mean, to be fair, given how the book was structured, you know, you'd believe it.
Whenever I read a comic, I always flick through it fast first just to look at the artwork.
Yeah.
And when I saw that, I was like, "Oh, damn, really?" And then I read it today.
I mean, to be fair, if he did kill Colossus based off what that guy potentially did to him, I he'd kind of deserve it.
A bad guy, so to see him possibly die in this, it might actually happen because Colossus magic.
Did she really thought that turning into Colossus would trick that Wolverine? He knows her scent. It's not like you could tell it's a different person, you know.
Wait, it's almost like it gave her strength, though.
The art was so good. The kills were so brutal, man. Like, this was one of the most beautifully illustrated comic books Marvel's put out recently. Oh, guys, the art in this was just so damn good, honestly.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, great. Loved it. Absolutely amazing.
I love this shot. When he's jumping out of the plane.
Yeah.
That's such a great shot. Oh, all the way through like that. Oh, so good.
Man, did they put this guy through the ringer, actually. Backstory was just, whew, man, was that brutal. Holy shit. But they sure did establish this is a crazy-ass Ultimate Wolverine that like no one's safe. If he starts killing more known people, I wouldn't be surprised. You know?
Yeah, I'm interested to see how this plays out because is he gonna break free? Is he gonna become, you know, kind of like the Winter Soldier, how he broke free of his command and work his way through it? This is gonna be interesting to see who else gets played into this. Now, hey, this guy is gonna be. I'm gonna move him around every show. It's gonna become a game. Where's Baby Yoda?
God. Awesome book, fun book. Definitely going to be in my top 10 floppies I read in 2025. Can't wait to read issue number 2. But we do have to have hot ladies come over and sleep with us when we're done with this review. Just joking. So, any closing thoughts and opinions on Ultimate Wolverine number 1?
No, good book. Whether you wait for the graphic novel or you buy the 24-page type floppy book, I would say if you're out there buying them out of the Ultimate line, this is a really good one. And good book.
So for me, I didn't have high expectations for it. I think my only solid issue is if you're going to be introducing those, I guess they're just trying to keep those villains right there ominous and not known right now for an issue 1, which is fine. But I think that's my only real problem, is that we didn't really get to know too much about the villains. Other than that, action was good, dialogue was good, pacing was good, the flashbacks were awesome, awesome and nice pace throughout the book. That last page before the other one of that awesome shot, that should have been a little bit earlier. My other little small critique, but that's pretty much it. Other than that, no, solid, fun. great book. I mean, that backstory was truly just tragic and brutal. So I'll give them that. They really know how to they just really want to fuck over people as hard as they can in any different way.
Sorry, Nightcrawler fans, but he's apparently not going to be participating in the Ultimate Universe.
Yeah, not a real Mystique. They're a little out of commission.
Forever. Yeah, they're just done. So yeah,
some would say they're taking a nap forever. God. So thank you guys for checking out this video. If you guys are returning viewers or new viewers, then please consider subscribing to the channel if you have not already. Leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it and comment down below. Also, make sure you guys hit the notification bell. That way you guys can get notified on whenever I upload a brand new video. I am MSK, aka Master Swag King, and we're going to sign out, guys. See you guys later. Deuces.